Now, with all the exciting stuff going around SoFi, with bank charter news, insider selling, Q3 coming up, we missed a major news which will add more fuel to the fire. Now, this is not new or breaking news by any means, but what I'm sharing will make you feel even more confident about your holding in case if you had any doubts. So do comment and share your thoughts on stock, and also what are your plans when we finally get the bank charter news. Coming back to the news. So money managers who oversee more than $100 million in the US must file a Form 13F within 45 days of each quarter's end to list the stocks as well as options and bonds. So money managers file their statement, and guess what they bought? And that too heavy. Of course, SoFi, because that's what we are here to discuss. But I'll show you a few more details and especially what they sold. So Bloomberg surveyed 962 13F filing for the second quarter, which shows 243.2 billion in financial services. You ready for this? Hedge funds added an astounding 5,888% with a market value of $1.72 billion of SoFi stock. And guess what they reduced? Bank of America and Wells Fargo. So SoFi was their biggest holding with 89.5 million shares, an add of almost 88 million shares. So before this, they were only holding like 1.5 million shares. And after this quarter, they added 88 million shares. Now, this is pretty bullish. I'm eagerly waiting for Q3 as I know we are going to see some major news and some numbers. And did you just see I said numbers, did not mention good or bad. More on this later. So let me share a few other details on SoFi, which is giving an outlook what we all investors want to hear. So call to put ratio on SoFi right here is about 3.3 calls to 1 put. So more and more investors are putting a more bullish bet on the stock. Really good thing. Now, the reason why I said Q3 will be interesting for SoFi is because of this. So there was this article in Wall Street Journal where they're saying that bank mergers are soaring with the recovery. But there was this one line which made me think that we might see some numbers in Q3 from SoFi that may not make Wall Street very happy. Here's the line on the article. This was the article on Wall Street Journal, and I've actually underlined the line here. So the Federal Reserve cut right here, and then interest rate to near zero when the pandemic hit, and low interest rate have made it more difficult for banks to profit from the bread and butter business of lending right here. Okay, so now the interest rates are good, or the low interest rate are good for us consumers, but not so good for banks and for lending businesses. And we know that SoFi's lending business is still over 70% of their revenue. Now, this gap is getting less and they are coming at par with their financial technology product, but their lending still tops the list. Now, I'm sure you have noticed that SoFi Stadium, the huge marketing campaign, everything is really good. But the low ending revenues, Q3 numbers may come out soft for SoFi. Again, my opinion only. I have not seen any analyst expectations on this yet, but I will do a deep dive on the Q3 expectation and I will release in a separate video. But as a long-term investor, I'm not expecting them to turn profit this quarter. That was never the expectation. But as you know, Wall Street is looking for a better net loss and better EBITDA numbers so they can feel more comfortable. Now, I have added SoFi to my high conviction list and I will continue to hold the shares for a long term. But I'm playing options in the short term to take advantage of higher IVs and some catalysts like bank charter, Super Bowl, and few more things happening at the SoFi Stadium. So do mention in the comments and let me know how you are trading your SoFi stock and what are your thoughts about SoFi's Q3. And I know that I'm making basically bets on the Q3, especially after the Q3. If their numbers are soft, that'll be a perfect opportunity to do some options. So I'm going to link my first SoFi video over here. Do check it out and get the full picture of SoFi and why I decided to invest in this company. I hope I was able to provide you some value, and if you like the video, then please consider subscribing and hit the like button so we can reach out to more SoFi lovers. As always, an absolute pleasure to be here. Love you all. Until next time, you all have a sparkling day.